Welcome, everybody. Thanks for joining us, and welcome everyone all the Seedify HODLers to this new YouTube AMA. Today with us there is Enrique Dubois, the CEO of Continuum World, and Daniel Fernandez, the COO. Continuum World will be the fifth AGO held on Seedify. If I remember correctly, it will be on the 1st of October. So today we are with Enrique, Dani, and Marcus, who is also part of the Seedify HODLers like me. For Enrique and Dani, we will be recording the AMA and then they will be put on YouTube. And for all of you watching, there will be a giveaway of three unique NFTs of Continuum World. So just go join the Gleam that our admins will put on the YouTube chat. So for everyone that wants to participate on the IGO, they will need to held at least 250 SFUNDs in order to participate on the lottery, or more than 1,000 to have an assured spot. So I think that's everything for my part and for my introduction. So if Danny or Enrique wants to introduce themselves, just go ahead and tell us a little bit about you.
Okay, I will start. Hi, everybody. I'm an online entrepreneur that have been doing online startups for the last 20 years, especially in the field of online gaming. I founded a casual gaming company called PlayStation.com, which was very successful in Spain and Latin America and got sold last year to a big company in Spain. Then I also founded an online gaming company called bingos.com, which was in the gambling sector and got sold as well to a UK public company in 2008. I also co-founded a virtual world for kids called Minix in France, which was also very successful. And lately, I've been in the crypto space. In 2017, we launched one of the first ICOs called Real, which was a real estate crowdfunding marketplace. And the company is going pretty well. And although last year I got disengaged of the company and I decided to go back to my passion, which is gaming. And I decided to merge my two biggest interests, which is gaming and crypto. And that's why last year we created the company that we work for, which is Continuum World.
Thanks for sharing.
Hi, thanks for the invitation. First of all, and my name is Daniel. I have been working in the games industry for about 15 years, having published more than 25 games for different platforms in different companies. And my background is game design and production. So now I have joined Enrique for this exciting crypto project game, and we are looking forward to start on launching the game.
Okay, thanks for the brief introduction. Now we're gonna start with the questions, and then if we have time, we will take some questions from the community. I think we will have time, so just when we say it, just write your questions, and Danny and Enrique will answer them. So we're gonna start. First of all, about Continuum World. If you had 2 minutes to tell what Continuum World is about, why people should invest. So please, can you tell us a little bit about the game and why do you think people should invest in it?
Okay, so the game, it's a fun game already without the crypto and without the NFTs. It's a fun game to play because it's based on very popular mechanics like Stardew Valley and Harvest Moon and Farmville. It's a game that takes place in an open world, and so in a formula of an MMO. So it allows for a lot of social interaction, and it consists of exploring and retrieving and gathering resources, building equipment to get more resources and to progress in the game. So you can have fun and you can meet people. But the magic here is when we merge all this with the crypto component, and we have the NFT technologies and the crypto tokens, and suddenly you can also make money and you can also invest. And this, I think, it's a match made in heaven, because that means that the land that you work, it can be yours, and it can be it can generate income, and all the resources that you get from the game, you can basically sell them for our native token and eventually make money. So I think our game, it would be fun already without the crypto, which is our priority, to make a fun game to play. But with the crypto component, I think it's a match made in heaven. We are developing for mobile with a mobile friendly approach. So it's a bit of mobile first, although you will be able to play also from browser desktop, of course. Yeah, it means it will be very easy to play for everybody. Will also not require any investment upfront, which is, I think, important for the community.
All right, thank you very much for that. First of all, from my side, welcome to the AMA tonight. So I have seen some interesting movies about Continuum World, especially about the development that's going on back in the office, behind the scenes. You've posted that on your social media. It looks really nice how you guys design everything. So I think right now, because in my opinion, blockchain gaming is becoming already quite big at the moment. We've had some companies that found a real interesting concept, and then looking at other games and also Continuum World, I think the challenge right now is to find a concept to keep people interested, incentivize to playing the game. For example, simply having a reward pool and click to claim rewards is not enough anymore these days. We're already slowly moving on to the next level. So if you look at Continuum World, would you say there is another project that's already on par with your project, which is similar? And if yes, which one? And how do you plan to differentiate from them?
Maybe, Danny, you can go for this.
Yeah, well, Continuum is inspired by games like Don't Starve or Stardew Valley, but in an MMO open world. So we don't think that there is something similar in crypto games. Also, we have the Birdum and PvP modes that can be compared to Pokemon or Axie Infinity, but with a twist, because we have strategic races instead of classic battles. So we don't think that we can pair with another similar crypto project. What do you think, Enrique?
I think of course, yeah, right now nothing exists like what we are doing. The only part that we look at is Axie Infinity, with many differences, of course, but especially to what Axie Infinity is supposed to be building, because Axie Infinity will probably introduce land play in the upcoming future, and I'm thinking it's gonna be similar to what we are doing, of course, with some differences, but so I think those Axie Infinity would be the comparison for our game.
Okay. You talk about the game that it's everyone can play, so it's basically a free to play. But I've also read that you need to have to own a land. Will the game offer a small free land, like with limited things, or how is free to play? If that's not if that's not how you start the game.
Danny,
well, yeah, lands of course are not free, but you don't need one to start playing.
you don't need.
You can gather resources from other lands, and you can buy your own land later on after becoming an advanced player. But to start playing, you don't need a land. That has to be clear.
Okay, so we
Yeah,
just need we can play and visit like the other lands or something similar, but without owning a land.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, for us it was very important. I mean, our team comes from the free to play market in the mobile sector, and for us it was very important to allow everybody to play, not only the ones that didn't want to do a big upfront investment like on Axie Infinity, which we believe is a big entry barrier, but also even the ones that don't have a blockchain wallet, which also it's a big barrier that other games have. In our case, you will be able to enter right away and play. If you don't have MetaMask or a blockchain wallet, doesn't matter, because we will give you one in the background for whenever you are ready to go blockchain, then suddenly you will see all your assets there. And we are designing a path for the free user, let's call it like that, the free user, whereby the free user can already have fun, explore, gather resources, progress, etc., etc. And with enough time, they can eventually buy the land and become one of the most successful players. We thought that was important.
Right. So when you talk about those lands, you say you can start playing without having them, and you can buy them either at the start or at the later stage. So continuing on that question, can you describe the advantage of having land and not having land? So when you are starting the game, are you on the land of another person, or are you on a land that belongs to everyone? Can you describe a little bit more about this?
Yeah, both. You can play on the land of a friend or another player, or you can explore natural lands that are also full of resources. So if you are playing on a land from another player, the owner of the land, get some benefits of your work there. That's the idea.
Okay, and that reward, is that decided by the owner of the land? Like, can he set like a taxation fee on the land?
Yeah, we have a standard fee, and then you can change it.
Yeah, we're following the model of the scholarships that was very popular in Axie Infinity. So we will try to do something like that, so the guilds can come in and enjoy. But as I said, you don't need the land. What does it mean to have the land? Well, it means that you can grow more. Of course, this is like real life. You make more investment, then you can have more resources. But it was very important for us that to make clear that without any investment, you can have fun and you can gather resources. There will be common areas, not necessarily all the map will not be private land. We will have a lot of common areas to gather, to socialize, and I expect that those will be very populated.
Yeah, that sounds very interesting. It looks more like the real life system, you know, like world building. You build you buy land, you build something on the land, you gather resources, and then if someone else wants to be on your land, you know, they have to pay taxes, or you know, it feels like a real world kind of thing. So when you describe the play to earn for Continuum World, can you explain how you built this? Is this in NFTs? Is this in tokens? Is this a combination? Is there going to be tournaments?
So yeah, it's a combination, because obviously you can acquire NFTs that will grow in value if there is more demand for the game. So that's one way of playing to earn, right? But then the normal play to earn will be based on rewards, which will be linked to the resources that you gather. Let's say you're a free user and you don't have any tool. Okay, doesn't matter. You can just explore the world and meet people and gather fruits. Maybe you can gather fruits from nature. Then you have some tools. Oh, suddenly then you can go and get some rocks, and you can chop a tree, and you can fish a fish. And then there will be a linear progress, and the next step will be owning land and installing a windmill generator, a solar generator on a hydroponic farm, etc., etc. So we are developing like a whole path from the free user to the most investor user.
So basically, you can also earn by staking, right? Will this staking give exclusive NFTs, or it will just give you more tokens?
So the staking is something very popular and standard in the market. I think it's complementary, right? Complementary to the game itself. In our case, we will provide staking so you can make more you can earn more tokens, but also we will associate it with having discounts on the NFTs, because yeah, how this economy works is that the economy gets a benefit from when people take the token out of the market that doesn't sell it, right? And as such, we have to promote that. Then we will not only give a yield, a nice attractive yield, but also discounts on the NFTs.
And also, can you stake NFTs? Basically, if you have a level 1 weapon, and by staking, we can get a level 2 weapon.
Yeah, we didn't think about that much. What do you think, Danny?
Well, not we have not planned for that, but
No.
there is still some time for review the
Yeah.
development and the design and add more ideas. Let's see.
Okay.
No, more ideas, no, please.
Yeah, I think the staking is really good. It's mostly used as a method to work deflational, take tokens
Yeah.
out of the market, give a bit of a return, also to create more liquidity at some point. So when you get to the land, could you describe a little bit more what people can build on the land, and what they build on the land? What is it used for? So, for example, buildings that are built on the land, what are those buildings used for, and what are the benefits of the items that are produced through those buildings?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah. Installing buildings in your land is optional, first of all, but of course they will generate precious resources easily, so you don't have to be hunting or fishing all the time to get meat or fish. So there are buildings that give you pure resources like tomatoes, while others that allow new possibilities like breeding buildings. So if you don't have the breeding building, you cannot breed Birdums. So it's a new feature that you can add by building by installing this on your land.
Danny, what type of buildings, for example, can we tell people that they will be able to install?
Yeah, well, this is like a farming mechanics where you need to install buildings to generate energy first of all,
Okay. Yeah.
and then there are different buildings for different resources like fruits and meat and fish that are very specific. There are other buildings specific for other features, like we have the bots, which are bots that help you with the work in the land. So you need some buildings to manage these bots. And then we have the market, where you can go to the market directly to sell your stuff without going to the town. And other players can use also this building in your land. And then we have also worm farm that produce worms, so that are used for potions and to feed Birdums. Also, we have a crypto farm.
Hold on, Danny. The worms are for Birdums, and
Yeah,
I
to
thought
feed
the
them.
worms. Because this takes place in a futuristic planet, right? I really thought we were farming the worms for the avatars, for us, for them.
Well,
You don't think that's the
actually,
future?
worms can be used in different ways, also to create or to craft cotton. Then you can create textile objects. So many different resources have different uses in the game, and they are precious to get them to obtain other stuff by crafting.
I was gonna ask that question about the different buildings, but Enrique got ahead of me. So now I read about the Birdum at the latest article, and that's a species. So there will be different species on the game.
Yeah.
Uh, I've read also that the Birdum needs to be hunted in order to use it. Will the other species be the same? They will be need to be hunted to use them, or they can be obtained through missions or something similar.
Well, Birdums are the species that are used for the PvP, and they are NFT, and they are unique. You cannot get it by other ways. but the other species are normal animals in the world that you can hunt or feast, and you can get resources from them, but they are not used in the same way.
So basically, the Birdum is needed to PvP, right?
Yeah, they are like the pets of the game, like the axes or like the Pokemons.
Okay, so you start the game. I suppose you don't own any Birdum. You have to find them on the
Yeah,
open world, right?
yeah, you can find it, or you can also get them on quests, on daily events, the special ones.
Oh,
And
you
Danny,
can
you
also.
can you can also buy it, right, from the
Yeah, that's what
Yeah,
marketplace.
of
that's gonna be
course.
my
There's a
question.
market, and you can trade them, and you can buy it. Yeah, of course.
Okay,
Okay.
and each Birdum will be unique. Like they will have something unique, right? Or
Yeah.
they are all the same, so or no?
No, no, they are completely different visually and in the abilities also. They have different movements for the PvP and different stats, and they're completely unique. Yeah.
Okay, thank you for that. Just wondering in between because what was the ticker of the token for the game again? So can you explain a little bit about that in between? Because I see the NFT bird and the bird's called Birdum. Are those things related?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Uh,
We are trying to we're trying to put all the brands and all the names with the in the end of the word or something like that.
okay, and can you explain what the stands for?
Yes, it is just the end of the word continuum as well.
Okay, thank you. I was just in
All right.
between. So when you talk about the species, you can breed them. Could you explain a little bit about this and how to evolve in the game, and how a player develops basically throughout time?
Yeah, it works like in many other games, like Pokemon or like Axie. It picks some stats from the mother and from stats from the father, and then they add some a random stat, and it generates a new Birdum. This can be done in the lands by building the breeding, uh, installing the building for breeding, and of course you need two Birdums to do it, and some additional resources.
Can you select the abilities that he will get from the father and the mother?
No, no,
Okay.
sorry.
Okay, it was something that I don't know if it's possible in any other game to choose the abilities. I thought it was going to be random, but just for asking, I don't
Yeah,
lose
it
anything.
gives a lot of power to the player if we do that.
Okay. Then after all of this, you said that you will add new elements to the game in the future. Obviously, can you elaborate a little bit on that? On what do you plan to add in the future?
Well, like in many other MMO games, this is a continued development. So when the game will be launched, we will still working on new stuff every day, new events, new features, new mini games. We will launch with the main features, and then we will add little by little in new updates. That's the idea.
Yeah, this is
And
this is a continuum development, right?
Development, yeah, yeah, yeah.
And and we have so many ideas. So we are organizing ourselves to launch by phases, each time releasing one more feature. But it is really continuum. It's really never ending because the ideas are endless. No, like for example, we would also want the Yumis, the avatars, to be specialized in a profession, right? Um, like one can be better at crafting, or other at farming, other at mining, hunting, fishing, etc., etc. We have the Birdum game. We will have many things. I would also love that the players can gather together and establish some kind like a little village. I think that's cool, and people would love it. And I think in the end of the day, we will do what the community asks us to do, because this is also one of these things of this current times. We are not a traditional company doing a game to make money. We are doing a game to also explore the potential of the creativity and explore this technology of decentralization. This game will be owned by the token holders, meaning that it might be that the first years it will be Danny and myself and the rest of the team who have the say on how things should be. But maybe in 3 years, 4 or 5 years time, it could be that it is like a DAO, right? A DAO managing what should with through voting, what should be done, what should not be done. Like we've seen in other nice projects like the Central Land, right? And we are starting with this formula in mind, and we aspire to do that as soon as possible. And as such, because as the name says, this is a continuum development, and I think it can be really never ending, because not only the ideas but also the potential of everything, right?
Yeah, keeping updates throughout the time is very important to maintain the attention of the player base. Most of the time, it's a few months, 6 months maximum, until the first people that joined have completely finished everything, maxed out the characters, explored everything, have the resources they need, and they hit like this point where they, want to go further, but they can't go any further. So yeah, that's the kind of point where you need to bring in an update to motivate those people to stay and not to step out. So when you talk about the PvP, is it only the Birdums involved in the PvP? Are there other birds or NFTs that can be involved in the PvP? If it's only the Birdum, can you explain a little bit more about that? And if there are other NFTs involved, can you describe a little bit more about the other NFTs and what are the differences between those NFTs in strength and opportunity, so they can win against each other, like an advantage in an element or a certain strength?
Well, for PvP, Birdum races are the main one. Then we will have mini games with the avatars, but the Birdum race will be the important one for PvP. And well, NFTs we have lands, we have also monuments for installing in the lands, and we have some relics.
The avatars as well.
The avatars, of course, but the ones used for PvP are the Birdums.
Yeah.
And the other question was how it works.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
Actually, the other question was more like if there was, first of all, how it works, and if there were multiple NFTs like others than the Birdums, how do they compare to each other?
Oh, no.
Yeah. The other ones are used for other stuff, like the land is your land, basically. But for PvP, we are using mainly the Birdums, and the way it works is very similar in the concept to a strategic battle by turns, like Pokemon, like Axie, but the way we present it is like a race. So it's completely different how you can see the development of the competition, but you still have the abilities that you can choose with using energy in real time and managing your stats in the best way to win.
So basically, there's only going to be the Birdum PvP, or did I mistake something?
We have mini games that you can play in the town with other avatars, and you can also it's a competition with other players, of course. It's PvP, but it's not the main competition where you can earn money and you can rank in the leaderboards, etc.
Okay.
It's more to have fun with your friends.
Okay. And for playing Birdum, I suppose you need NFTs apart from the Birdum. How does each NFT differ from each other? Are there some attributes that make some shine against the other, or they just one give you more speed, more strength, or how will this work?
Yeah, they have their stats applied to the race, and then they have 3 abilities. Well, 3 active abilities and 2 passive abilities. So these abilities have an effect on the race, and you can use it consuming energy that get refilled automatically, like Clash Royale or something like that in a bar. So you have to use the abilities in the best way, using your energy and also considering your passive abilities and your stats. So yeah, every Birdum is different, and every Birdum have their own abilities that you have to learn how to use.
Okay. I think we will have just two more questions, and then we will let the community. I've been reading that a lot of the questions are in Spanish, so if they just ask in Spanish, and I'll try to translate live. So I understand Spanish, so I can do it. Next question will be about the security and legal aspects. Basically, I will try to put it in one question. Who would be performing the security audit on Continuum World smart contracts and coding? And with continuing to that, how would you prevent fraudulent use of the game, like cheating or something similar?
Okay, I will answer the first question because I'm in charge more of the blockchains part, and then you can answer about the game fraud and cheating. So regarding the blockchain contracts audit, we have engaged with 2 different companies, and both of them are 2 external auditing companies. And both of them are auditing since last week. One of them is called Demiteca, and the other is called, which is in Valencia in Spain. And the other one is called Alves Ventures, which is also an investor in our company. Both of them are analyzing the code and are having no issues so far. And regarding the game cheating and fraud, Danny?
Yeah, well, I have to be honest. We still have to work on it. It's something very important that we are considering to prevent, but it's something that we are now analyzing and looking for the best way to reduce this issue in crypto games. But it's something that I don't have an answer just now.
Yeah, we will have to look at the standard practices, right? Like the limiting by IP, limiting by device, but we are seeing that because these games make money, people build farms of smartphones, right? We've seen it with Plant versus Dead, and I don't think this is good for the industry. And we will. The good news is that in several months we will launch. The technology will be there already, and I'm thinking that maybe there will be something to do with the location, right? Maybe you need to enable your location, and it will check if there are other devices totally close to this device or something like that. But this is me imagining it. But I'm sure in some months technology will be there, and we will be able to prevent it. Yeah, but by the way, this thing has been there also in other games, right? Not only with the play to earn. I sent these images from play to earn farm to my team, and they told me, yeah, it's also happening with Pokemon Go, right? I mean, I live in Singapore, and people here, they go to the malls with a tray full of smartphones, and you see these people catching Pokemons like with 10 smartphones. Yeah, I think up to a certain extent, it will be hard to limit, but we will have to limit, and yeah, we are determined to find the right way.
Yeah, I reckon that's always the tough question: how to make it fair for everyone.
Absolutely.
You can try to limit people having one account, but then when you're playing an MMORPG where you have dungeons, for example, and you don't feel like you want to constantly depend on team players like you often have, where you need to enter a dungeon with 5 players. Instead you create 5 characters yourself and then team up with yourself so you can solo the dungeon. So it's always a tough question. Until where are you going to limit people to play 1 account, 2 accounts, 3 accounts, and which one is fair, which one is not? A challenge every game faces 20 years ago and today. So I think we are moving on to the community right now. So we have someone in the background who will pop up the questions in the screen for us. So we're just gonna wait for that. So from Jared, sorry if this was answered earlier when you were talking about baby Birdums getting abilities from the parents. Are the baby abilities inherited from the parents or completely random?
Yeah, as I explained it, they are inherited from the parents, and also they have a random component, small one. But yeah, a mix of both is the answer.
Okay. Next question, please, Sebastian. Do you have an economist on the game? And also, you must have enough burning mechanism for the tokens. I suppose they say, how will you do the burning mechanism of the tokens, if there is any?
Yes, of course, this economy needs to be laid out perfectly, and not only with economists, but also with mathematicians, right? And we are running some models and some simulations. And yeah, it's not a problem at all, because the game in the middle will always control how valuable are the resources, right? So from in one hand, we will have a buying pressure of the token, with new players or with players that are investing, right, in the game. This will be buying pressure. Then, on the other hand, we will have a selling pressure. Those players extracting resources and putting the token in the market will be selling. But because we are in the middle, the game it's in the middle. We will be always able to put the price on the tomatoes, for example, to put the price on the wood, on the energy, etc. And we will do it in a nice, elaborate way. Like, for example, by the way, I don't think it's going to be an issue for the first many years, because the market is huge and it's going to be more big. And we are talking 3.5 billion players. And I mean, play to earn market is just starting. But anyways, if during some times we need to adjust the rewards, we can do that, and we will do that easily by introducing, for example, weather changes. Suddenly there will be bad weather, so the productivity will not be as good. Or suddenly there will be some soil saturation. So guess what? I'm sorry, less tomatoes or less fish in the pond. So we will do it in a nice, beautiful way. We have to remember that we are not doing a business covered as a game, where the only fun of the game is to make money. We are not doing that at all. We are very adamant on making a fun game, and a fun game first, right? It's going to be fun to play, free to play game. Of course, it will also make money. It will also be able to make money for sure, but it will not be the only thing. And we will look after very well after the fun aspect of it.
Okay.
Yeah, thanks for that. I think that's very important, from Mariana.
Yeah, that's gonna be me, Marcos.
You did that one, please.
Okay, there is a market in the game, and since the market is gonna be open to everyone, can everyone put the price they want, or will it be something that regulate the price? So in order that, for example, the tomatoes doesn't cost 3 Ethereum each one.
Yeah, well, people can put the price as they want, but also the game will offer always a purchase offered for a lower price. If nobody's purchasing tomatoes, the game will offer a lower price for them, and that price is what we control and what we can modify in a daily basis, as Enrique was explaining.
So basically, if you see anything that isn't correct, like I don't know, the price of a tomato that costs 3,000 Ethereum, will you try to moderate them, or just you will leave them?
No.
And if someone wants to buy one tomato for 10 Ethereum,
Yeah.
you just buy it.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Sure.
Yes, I mean, the market should be free, and we will only offer the bottom, right? The floor. We will always offer the floor, which will be like the foundation of the economy. But if suddenly people go crazy for these tomatoes, I don't know, and start offering and buying a lot of tomatoes because suddenly these tomatoes make the Birdums raise faster, things like that, then okay, the market will decide. The market should decide, and there will be a market fee, but everything will be transaction between players.
Okay. Next question, please.
All right, next one. Will the early adopters develop an advantage that might discourage new players, or will it be a low entry barrier so that everyone feels like they can still develop equally in the game?
Mm-hmm.
Well, not really. But the people who start first will progress faster and will get to an advanced point faster than people who start later. But I don't think that there is any main difference on the progression of the game. It's just that you will progress slower and you will get to the point of advanced player later, but that's all.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. I think any game is like that, where you step in later. Obviously, you are behind. I mean, you can't expect to catch up, like in 2 weeks. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
So, next question.
Okay, Simon asks, how will you manage the hordes of players coming to a game just to try and make a quick buck? He says they will try to inflate the price at first and then leaving the game.
Well, the more you play and the more you stay in the game, the more earnings you are going to have. So it doesn't make sense to enter into the game and go out, because at the beginning you get very little earnings, but when you are advanced player,
That's the key.
you will get much more. So the goal of the player will be to progress as fast as possible and to be in a position to generate more resources and to get more earnings.
Okay. The next question, please, Sebastian.
How differ the prices for the lands? Are there going to be pre-sales, or is it going to be obtained in a different way? And what will be the range? I assume either in price or perhaps also in quality or tiers.
Yeah, well, the quality of the lands can be different, and therefore the price too. The range of the price is something that we don't know yet. Enrique, you have something for that question?
Yeah, as you said, there will be different sizes for the land, and we want to price it in at a very affordable entry price. We don't dare to name a price, but I can tell you it's 100 times less than any other NFT land game, which means people that like the game and want to own a land, everybody will be able to own a land, and I think that's also nice and fair for a game that it's starting, right? But we will publish pricing and full lands information. I think in a month. Maybe in November. Yeah.
Okay, Nico asked about the game if it will be launched on other platforms like Steam.
Yeah, our idea is to be on as many platforms as possible. Of course, at the beginning, we will have to focus on what platform, with PC and web. Then we will move to mobile also, like Enrique said, and Steam also is one platform that we love and that we would like to be there. Probably not at the beginning, of course.
So this is important because, as I said in the beginning, we are not just doing a game for crypto users. We really want to bring the next 20 million users to crypto. And this is part of our mission. And I always thought, and I always said, since many years that it's going to be gaming what it's going to bring people to crypto, and this is happening. It's happening. It is fascinating to see the Philippines. There are more running wallets than bank accounts in Philippines. I mean, that is insane. And I think this is going to continue like that. And we should then be on Steam and everywhere we can. And this is what we will do.
Yeah, I believe blockchain gaming in Southeast Asia currently is huge. Philippines, Indonesia, Vietnam. So what's the time scale you're planning on having the entire ecosystem developed and launched? So basically, when will be the launch of the game? Please don't answer that question if you don't want to reveal the launch date yet, but if you can, when will it be, or approximately?
So we will be releasing by stages. So for example, we will be releasing the land this year, we hope end of the year. Then we will be releasing an avatar generator to get acquaintance with your avatar, with your Yumi. And then we will probably release a Birdums minigame and all that to keep you part of the journey, right? And we will be releasing the whole game is going to be released next year. But since the beginning, we are saying always the beginning of the next year, you will be able to play already. Not with everything that we discussed, with all the ideas. If we take, like the question said, the entire ecosystem, this is very frightening, the entire ecosystem. But all the ideas that we discussed about, they are going to be done next year. And that's why we are hiring a lot of new people now in the gaming studio. We did this round of funding successfully, and we are starting with, we started already with a lot of hirings, and we're going to have a lot of manpower to do everything maximum. Beginning of next year we will be able to play, but during next year we will see the new functionalities. Is that right, Danny?
Yeah. It's been difficult development, but
you have the pressure
with that goal in mind.
All right, thank you very much for answering all those questions. We stop the community questions for now. When it comes to Continuum World, is there something that you would like to add to this AMA for tonight from yourself, perhaps Enrique or Daniel? Something you feel like, okay, I really feel like I should have said this, and feel like if I don't say it now, maybe I'll forget it later. So if you have something that you would like to add, just spit it out.
Maybe Danny?
I think we have talked about everything. Just the formula or the sentence that we want to keep in mind is that this is a game to have fun and not to invest, because people is thinking in investing in this game. No? We don't think that this is how we want to present the game. We want to offer a fun experience, and then you can earn money.
And this is where I come in. I wanted to say something similar, Danny. And this is my entrepreneurial background, more business-oriented way of thinking. It is totally true, and we've said it sometimes. We want to do a fun-to-play, free-to-play game. But you know what? We really believe, and I know for a fact, that doing a fun-to-play game and free-to-play game, that will mean that the business and the economic side will be better, because people will not get tired of playing. People will not just play to make some cents or some dollars. People will play with passion, and there will, of course, there will be some players. We know we're going to have some players just investing. That's for sure. We will also have some players just for making money, that they don't care about the game. Their priority is to make money, especially considering some people that lives in countries where the monthly salaries are very low, and suddenly they can make more money by playing that by working. Then of course I understand, and it's going to be completely logical. But we hope that the main core and our main target will be people that will come to have fun, meet people, and then make money. These three things. And I think with those objectives in mind, it is how our game will be very successful.
Okay, thank you both for that. I would like to add something personally to that as well. I think what you say there about the game, it's very important. Personally, I believe that in the near future, when the blockchain gaming market already develops, I think the tokens will not be any more of a need to earn. So personally, I think the whole play to earn system in perhaps 1 year or 2 years, or perhaps even in 6 months, might even disappear, and it's going to move more towards the DAO, so where the tokens will purely and solely be used. So the player base feels like, okay, we own the game. We want to make this game a success, because we are gamers. Because I think right now in blockchain gaming, I don't think you see gamers. I think you see people that are looking for earning money, and those people are not gamers, because most of the gamers, they are still in World of Warcraft and similar kind of games.
Yeah.
So I think at some point the whole play to earn system, it's still going to be there, but it's more going to move towards a marketplace oriented system where people feel like, okay, this time I really own what I have in the game. Although that also brings me to another problem that perhaps for the future in gaming, because I feel the NFT ownership idea in general still needs some tuning for the future, but that's something I will discuss perhaps in the future. But yeah, so I think it's very important to focus on the gaming aspects, like you say, and that is very strong. So you develop the game in phases, you bring it on the market in phases, and you have a good concept with Continuum World where people can own lands, build on the lands, and feel like they are actually playing a game, and then if they earn something in return, that's a nice bonus.
Yeah,
thank you.
Yeah, George, would you like to add something?
No, I'm very grateful for you for joining us. We appreciate it and we like it. I think the community also like to have these YouTube AMAs. So please, everyone, just go and like and subscribe to our channel and to Enrique and Danny Continuum World. And maybe we can have an AMA in 6 months, 7 months, when the game is already live, and we can get to know how it evolved, if you want. So we will just get in touch for that. And thanks to Marcus for joining. Thanks to Marcus for being here, and to Sebastian, who's the master in behind. We never forget him. So nothing has to be added. We can finish it here. So if that's okay, nothing more to be added, and see you next time.
Okay, guys.
Yeah,
thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
For being here.
Bye.
All right. Thanks everyone for
Bye.
watching. Don't forget to like
Thank
and
you.
subscribe. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye everyone.